Hi everyone, welcome to another quick session. In this session, we will discuss a few more control models, let's say, access control models. They are also part of security models discussion, as we have discussed in our previous session regarding Bieber model, Bell-LaPadula model, and Clark-Wilson model. So there are a few more models which we need to discuss. So first of all, first model in this session is uh, Brewer-Nash model, which also calls Chinese wall model. So this particular model focus on conflict of interest, who you accessed before matters. So what problem it solves? How do we stop insider from accessing competing sensitive information? This is about ethics and confidentiality, not the admin work. So once you access one company's sensitive data, you are blocked from competitors. Um, Dynamic access control prevents insiders conflict and used in consulting, finance, and law firms. So, for instance, layman example, if I provide layman explanation, access depends on what you accessed in the past. Once you accessed one company sensitive data, access to competitors is blocked. So if that company has another competitor, they have also same kind of data, so you are not supposed to access it. It is blocked for you. Access rules are dynamic. So very real life example, consulting firm. Scenario consulting consultant conflict. Consultant works with company A. Consultant accesses company A's confidential data. Later tries to access company B's data, which is a competitor of company A. So system blocks access automatically. A Chinese wall goes up. So there is a wall between company A and company B. So another example, a law firm lawyer works on client X. Lawyer cannot work on client Y if they compete. If they compete with each other, right? Client X and client Y. So prevents insiders misuse. So what it prevents insider trading, biased consulting, conflict of interest. So that main focus is conflict of interest. So that we need to keep in mind for the CISSP exam, as we have discussed. Bell-LaPadula model for confidentiality. Most it used in military most often. BIBA ensures integrity, right? The data should not be manipulated, and Clark-Wilson model is for enterprise, for the business, right? So there are proper rules, a proper control in place before you perform any change, before you provide something that also address integrity, but at business level, right? So Brewer-Nash model, it ensures conflict of interest, right, as we have discussed thoroughly. So Brewer-Nash model does not manage permission, does not analyze privilege escalation, does not enforce integrity rules, right? Uh, I think once you pick a side, the wall goes up, right? So when you pick up client A and client A compete with client B, so you will not have access to client B. That is Brewer-Nash model, and now we need to discuss regarding this The second one, Graham-Denning model. Denning model. So another important concept, access control administration. Who manages access? What problem we can solve? How do we safely give, change, and remove user access over time? So the model is about administration, not daily uses. Defines how permissions are created, granted, revoked, and deleted, right? So these revoked, deleted, created, granted. So what it manage, user creation, deletion, permission, grant, revoke, ownership transfer. So layman example, admin creates user, admin grant file access, admin remove access when employees leaves. So there is a proper employee life cycle. So you grant them the rights, the permission when they leave the company or when they change the department. Um, uh, those permissions are revoked, right? So permission management, access matrix, right? So layman examples, system have users, files, permissions, subjects, objects, and rights. Someone must control who is allowed to give or remove these permissions. Graham-Denning model defines rules so permission don't get out of control. Layman example, for instance, new employee life cycle. For instance, let's say Bob joins company. IT creates his account. Bob is assigned to finance. IT grant finance system access. Bob moved to HR. IT revoke finance access, and IT grants HR access. Right. So Bob leaves company. IT deletes his account. So this is a complete user life cycle, right? Once you leave the company or you change the department, then your rights are revoked or deleted accordingly. So what it prevents, random user granting access, orphaned accounts, excessive permissions. Um, so that is important. So here, what we need to keep in mind, if you see in the CISSP exam, grant, revoke, create, delete, access, then the question is related to Graham-Denning model. Graham-Denning model, admin rules for access right. Admin rules for access rights. So here we have Brewer-Nash model is conflict of interest. Another important model is take grant take grant model. It does in this slide, in this one I have mentioned. Take grant model is, in fact, it analyzes how uh, rights spread, privilege escalation analysis. Just keep in mind it does analysis. So it can permission spread in a dangerous way and lead to privilege escalation. It is not about prevention only, it is only analysis that we need to keep in mind. So it is used to create a map. Um, for example, imagine access as a map, uh, users and files or dots, permissions or arrows. Some arrows allow, take, steal permission, grant, give permission, right? So it tells you exactly, is there a path where someone could eventually get more power than intended. So it also, we can say, one thing is privilege escalation, right? And also privilege creep, another term which you might have heard. So privilege creep, one, for instance, when you are in one department, you leave that department and your rights which you already had, so they are not deleted or revoked, So you go to next department, you get additional rights. So, and then you get more and more rights, but the previous one, which you are not supposed to have anymore, they are still there. So that kind of privilege escalation. Are you were uh, in for one system you got admin rights, but now you are not admin anymore, you became a normal user, so but still you have admin rights, right? So that is a privilege escalation. So it could possibly privilege escalation. So privilege escalation is something which is intentionally, and privilege creep is sometimes unintended or unintentionally. So that these two terms we need to keep in mind. So it is privilege. If you see privilege escalation, right? Propagation, excess graph, unsafe state. So that is again take grant model. So Brewer-Nash model is conflict of interest, and Graham-Tanning model is permission control. So I think that is very important. These are very important concept. And another important thing which I would like to highlight, that these are the concepts, right? So operationally, they are not tools that we need to keep in mind. We um, may implement a different tool using these concepts. So these concepts uh, gives an idea, right? How conceptually security, these are conceptual. Security models are conceptual. They are used to design security policy, analyze risk, understand access, control behaviors. They are not tools. They are not software you install. That we need to keep in mind. So they are only provide us the concept. It is not, for instance, RBAC, role based access control itself. So we may use any identity access management system in order to apply all those concept or models, right? Like Okta or any other tool. So this concept is important. We should only know the difference between those and the keywords. If we see any question related to these topic, we might answer them in the CISSP exam. So I think that's it. We have covered all these models thoroughly. Thank you so much for watching this session. If you have any question or feedback, please share in the feedback section.